Moment that she has finally realized everything's gone wrong.
The narrative surrounding Meghan Markle's fall from Hollywood's grace has been a slow-burning spectacle, one that many observers predicted long before the mainstream media caught up. It's a story rooted in ambition, calculated moves, and the inevitable consequences of a persona built on transactional relationships rather than genuine loyalty. The pivotal moment, as some see it, came when Oprah Winfrey, the media titan who once provided Meghan and Prince Harry a global platform to air their grievances against the British royal family, appeared to turn her back on them. This wasn't a subtle shift, but a public, calculated dismissal that sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. During an appearance on Kelly Ripa's podcast, Oprah's seemingly casual mispronunciation of Meghan's cherished Sussex title wasn't just a slip, it was a deliberate signal, a public execution dressed in the guise of lighthearted error. For those who followed Meghan's trajectory, this moment was less a surprise and more a confirmation of what they'd long suspected. Her carefully curated facade was crumbling, and even the most powerful figures in media were done protecting her. Meghan's journey from royal darling to Hollywood pariah is a case study in overreaching ambition and miscalculated alliances. When she and Harry stepped back from royal duties in 2020, the world watched as they positioned themselves as the ultimate power couple, ready to conquer Hollywood with their narrative of victimhood and progressive ideals. The Oprah interview in 2021 was their crowning moment, a globally televised event where they aired their grievances against the monarchy, painting themselves as misunderstood reformers. Meghan, in particular, leaned into the role of the outsider, the biracial American actress who would modernize a 1,000-year-old institution. The media lapped it up, hailing her as a breath of fresh air. But beneath the surface, cracks were already forming. Observers who paid close attention noticed the red flags, the staff turnover, the estrangement from her own family, the way she seemed to prioritize global fame over the quiet duties of royal life. These weren't the actions of someone building lasting relationships, but of someone playing a long game for personal gain. Hollywood operates on a brutal principle. Your value is tied to your last success. Meghan's post-royal ventures, her Netflix deal, her podcast, her lifestyle brand American Riviera Orchard have been marked by high expectations and underwhelming results. The Netflix deal, once touted as a $100 million game-changer, has produced little of note. Her podcast, Archetypes, was quietly shelved after failing to meet performance benchmarks, and her lifestyle brand struggles to move product, not for lack of quality, but because her celebrity endorsement network has collapsed. The financial reality is stark. Brand partnerships that once lined up to dress her for red carpet events are now declining styling requests. Luxury fashion houses, once eager to align with her royal allure, have gone silent. Her absence from the Met Gala guest list for 3 consecutive years is telling, not because she lacks style, but because Anna Wintour, the gatekeeper of cultural relevance, no longer sees her as worth the investment. The Oscars tell a similar story. Meghan and Harry are excluded from exclusive after-parties, their names absent from VIP lists, their presence met with polite but distant courtesy. The celebrity abandonment is perhaps the most poetic aspect of Meghan's downfall. She built her Hollywood persona on borrowed credibility, leaning on figures like Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, and George and Amal Clooney to validate her star power. But these relationships, like so many in her life, appear to have been transactional. Ellen, who once publicly defended Meghan, unfollowed her on social media in late 2023, a quiet but significant act of distancing. The Clooneys, who attended the royal wedding and were positioned as Meghan's Hollywood allies, have not mentioned her or Harry in over 2 years. The Beckhams' fallout is particularly revealing. David Beckham, once one of Harry's closest friends, now treats the couple as untouchable, reportedly after Meghan's team accused the Beckhams of leaking stories to the press. The response was swift, complete social and professional excommunication. This pattern of burning bridges isn't new. Meghan's history is littered with discarded relationships. Her father, who funded her education and early career. Her former friend Jessica Mulroney, who defended her publicly only to be ghosted when she became a liability. Even her own family systematically excluded from her wedding. Oprah's role in this saga is particularly fascinating. As the queen of daytime television, she has mastered the art of strategic alliances and even more strategic separations. Her dismissal of Meghan follows a playbook she's used before with figures like Lance Armstrong and James Frey, who became liabilities to her brand. The process is methodical. First, the gradual reduction of public support, fewer mentions in interviews, fewer social media interactions, fewer invitations to private events. Then comes the diplomatic vagueness when asked about the individual directly. Finally, the public dismissal, delivered with just enough plausible deniability to avoid looking vindictive. Oprah's mispronunciation of the Sussex title was no accident. It was a signal to Hollywood that Meghan is no longer under her protection. Industry insiders understand this language. When Oprah stops caring about your feelings, it's a green light for others to follow suit. The ripple effect is immediate. Talent managers return calls more slowly, party planners develop scheduling conflicts, and collaboration opportunities dry up. The internet has reveled in this moment, with TikTok compilations of Oprah's comment going viral, not for their humor, but for the validation they offer. Comment sections are filled with royal watchers and casual observers alike celebrating what they see as overdue accountability. Body language experts, who've tracked the cooling dynamic between Oprah and Meghan over the past 2 years, are seeing their analyses confirmed. In 2021, Oprah seemed genuinely invested in Meghan's story, her emotional engagement palpable during their bombshell interview. By 2022, her mentions of Meghan were neutral, her enthusiasm tempered. By 2023, she was dodging questions about the Sussexes entirely. Now in 2025, she's comfortable publicly mocking Meghan's title, a move that would have been unthinkable during their earlier alliance. This shift isn't just personal, it's a seismic change in Hollywood's power dynamics. When someone of Oprah's stature distances herself, it gives permission to the rest of the industry to do the same. Meghan's isolation extends beyond Hollywood to her Montecito community, where she and Harry have settled. Montecito operates on old money principles, valuing discretion, and established hierarchies over fleeting celebrity. The tech billionaires, entertainment moguls, and generational wealthy families who dominate the area's social scene view Meghan as an outsider, her public disclosures and victim narrative at odds with their preference for privacy. Charity galas, private dinner parties, and exclusive gatherings systematically exclude the Sussexes, not out of malice, but because their brand no longer carries the weight it once did. One longtime resident described Meghan's efforts to buy her way into this world, through lavish events and strategic networking, as painfully out of step with a community that prizes understated influence. At Netflix, executives are grappling with the fallout of their Sussex investment. Internal data shows Meghan's solo projects underperforming, with her cooking show generating less engagement than comparable lifestyle content. The streaming giant banked on the royal connection and Oprah's implicit endorsement to legitimize their deal, but with Oprah's withdrawal and other celebrities steering clear, the Sussex brand has become a liability. Industry sources describe Netflix's approach as a full-scale damage assessment, with executives weighing the cost of continuing a partnership that no longer delivers the cultural cachet they expected. The contrast with other Netflix personalities, whose content consistently outperforms Meghan's, is stark and embarrassing. Meghan's attempts to maintain her Hollywood relevance have grown increasingly desperate. Her team has reportedly been sending expensive gift baskets to celebrities, high-end wine from her American Riviera Orchard brand, exclusive skincare products, personalized jewelry, and handwritten notes that read more like business proposals than friendly gestures. These aren't casual gifts, but professionally curated packages worth thousands, designed by luxury concierge services to preserve relationships. The response is telling. Some celebrities acknowledge the gifts publicly, others accept them silently, and a growing number return them unopened. One Hollywood publicist revealed that their A-list clients have a policy of declining Sussex packages to avoid any appearance of endorsement. The irony of Meghan's downfall is that it mirrors her own treatment of others. She has a well-documented history of cutting ties when relationships no longer serve her, her family, her friends, even the royal institution that gave her global relevance. Now she's experiencing the same transactional philosophy in reverse. Hollywood, an industry built on perception and calculated alliances, has deemed her a risk. Talent agencies like CAA, WME, and UTA maintain unofficial association risk lists, advising their high-profile clients to avoid public interactions with figures like Meghan and Harry. This isn't a formal policy, but an industry practice, communicated through whispered conversations and strategic scheduling. The result is a ripple effect: fewer event invitations, fewer photo opportunities, fewer collaborations. Meghan's social media presence, once a cornerstone of her brand, reflects this decline. The absence of organic engagement from verified accounts, the lack of celebrity endorsements, and the increasingly desperate tone of her content all point to a star whose influence is waning.